Never did I ever mean to make a mess. How I'm gonna get home is anybody's guess. Money where your mouth was, gonna wake up in dead. And my car ain't fixed yet. Oh no, no, no. Just clap your hands now. Just clap your hands now. Just clap your hands now.
Hi guys, my name's Baxter. I'm an accredited practicing dietitian and online physique coach, and today I'm bringing to you one of my favorite desserts, and this was actually a recipe from Thanksgiving. In fact, it was Lane's mum who served this original recipe to me, and I'm so glad she didn't tell me the macros on this thing, because it would have easily just in one slice taken my entire day's fats. I'm not even kidding. So I took on the challenge this morning of coming up with this modified or a lower calorie version, and it's actually taken a little bit of effort to make some substitutions. So I'm going to go through with you today what I have done to make this cheesecake lower in fat and lower in calories and higher in protein as well. Actually works out to be pretty high in protein. So stay tuned and stick around. So starting off with the base ingredients, I'm going to be using these ginger snap biscuits. So these are gluten-free, so I can eat this. You don't have to use a gluten-free product if you don't want to. 200 grams are going into the base. Also adding in some pecan nuts. This will just give it a really nice mouthfeel because of the fats that are coming from the pecans. Now these are very dense, so we're only using half a cup. I'm actually substituting out regular cooking butter or margarine for this much lower in calorie or lower fat. I can't believe it's not butter. So 100 grams is going in melted to make the base. And lastly, I'm putting a little bit of iodized salt as well, just to bring out that sweet flavor for the base of this cake. So to make the cream cheese filling, I'm using this third fat cream cheese, but not to what the original recipe called for. I'm actually halving it. So we're going to be using only 300 grams of this third fat cream cheese. So to make up the other half, I'm actually going to be using the no fat light ricotta cheese that I use quite frequently in my baking and cooking. 300 grams of this as well. Interestingly, this recipe actually also uses sour cream. So I'm going to be using half a cup of this fat-free, not regular fat sour cream. So because we are taking away the full fat product, it's going to cause the cheesecake or the filling to be a little bit softer. So in order to make sure that this stays firm and set solid, I'm going to use some of these gelatin sachets. So because it's a large volume of cream cheese, I'm going to use 2 sachets. So to flavor this cheesecake, we are doing a pumpkin spice recipe. I have some friends back in Australia who are going to love this, so excited to share it with them. 420 grams of pureed pumpkin, and this is actually a really good product to use instead of things like sweet potatoes. So to keep your carbohydrates lower, you can certainly substitute sweet potato and regular white potato for a pumpkin, whether it's out of a can or whether it's fresh pumpkin. It's actually a much lower carbohydrate alternative. So 420 grams. So a regular cheesecake would call for standard sugar. I'm replacing all of that with this sweetener. So this is a granulated sucralose. You can use any powdered product. I would recommend using powdered and not the liquid form because this actually does help to kind of bind it together. So 1.5 cups. The spices that are going in to flavor this cheesecake, I'm using a full teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to be using a full teaspoon of vanilla essence. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg is going in here as well. This isn't actually called for in the recipe, but I really love the flavor of ginger. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of ground ginger into this just to make it a little stronger in flavor. So I'm going to be taking this 10-inch springform cheesecake tray. I'm going to line the base with some parchment or baking paper, and we're going to press the ingredients that we've just blended in the processor firmly into the bottom, and then we're going to set it in the fridge for the next 30 minutes, which is perfect because that's the amount of time that we're going to take making the filling. There it is, there's our base. I'm just going to put that in the fridge for 30 minutes. The 300 grams of the no-fat ricotta cheese into the food processor. Just taken 300 grams of the third fat cream cheese and mixed it with the ricotta cheese. So I've just taken one of the sachets of gelatin and have mixed that with probably 2 or 3 tablespoons of boiling water. So I'm just going to keep mixing that until I can see that most of the crystals have dissolved. This is going to help set the filling. So if your food processor is a similar size to mine, I would probably recommend doing it in 2 batches. This is a smaller than normal food processor, so typically the volume that you can house is a little bit larger. So before you actually make this, take a look at the size of your food processor first. Putting in 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence and a teaspoon of cinnamon as well. And half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And definitely needs the other half a cup of stevia. But I'm going to spoon out half the mixture just so it doesn't overflow. So here is the finished product. This makes 10 servings. You can make it go further if you like. The macros will be listed on the screen for you, and if you would like any other low-calorie, macro-friendly recipes, you're more than welcome to head to my website. It's www.hvnutrition.com.au. If you like this recipe, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope you have a great day. Okay. I'm just going to put that in the fridge. If we have any room. So we're not putting it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Get off the spoon, damn it. I'm so annoyed right now. That is really good. Oh, this pumpkin spice, I heard it loses weight.
If correlation is causation, if you don't want to become a basic bitch, don't eat pumpkin. Go.
So this is the finished product. It serves 10. I'm gonna fucking start that again.
I'm gonna make sure I don't come back into this area for the next
Yes, stay away.
5 hours. Actually, do you mind if I make a coffee?